Now, can I show you one little piece of it? Do we have time? Shit, I'm over time. Let's do a little bit of. This is Patel, and this is a Republican asking him, and then they do kiss-ass answers, and then we go to the Democrats ask questions on that. In the House, it was very different than the Senate, because the senators, Republican and Democrat, seemed to have a level of seriousness in what they were doing. In the House, it was fucking rabble on the right. And then, like, just, you guys are awesome. High five, fucking five. And then the Democrats were like, what the fuck are you doing? This is nuts. This is the sort of show and tell moment. By the way, you're watching Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide, the greatest live stream in the history of live streams. I'm Hal Sparks, your host. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share the show, etc., etc. This is where we first see the texts shown to these guys that have the battle plans, I think.
That reflects my position.
Thank you all. I yield back.
The gentleman yields. Mr. Krishnamurthy.
Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you to our witnesses for coming. Thank you for your service. Director Gabbard, you said no classified information was included in the signal chat, correct?
That's correct.
And President
were there materials that by the rules of DNI and the DOD, they would have been classified if anybody was smart enough to classify them?
Also said there was no classified information in the signal chat, and Secretary Hegseth said nobody was texting war plans. There was absolutely no classified info in that chat. Lieutenant General Cruz, I'd like to talk to you about a couple things real quick. Executive Order 13526, Section 1.4a. This is the Trump administration's executive order with regard to classified information.
Yeah, this was one, remember, because of Hillary, Trump was like, we're going to be the best about national security. We're going to show this bitch how it's done, right? That was from the first president, the first term.
It says, information shall be classified if its unauthorized disclosure could reasonably be expected to cause damage to national security, including military plans, weapons systems, or operations. You don't disagree that that's accurately quoted, right?
That's an accurate quote from the executive order.
And DO 5200.01, this is the DOD's manual on classification, says, quote, information shall be classified if its unauthorized disclosure could reasonably be expected to cause describable damage to national security.
Yeah, I'm getting what he's laying down.
Includes military plans, weapon systems, or operations. You don't disagree that I quoted that accurately, right?
That's also an accurate quote.
Can I show you I'd like to show you the text that Secretary Hegseth actually.
So, real good example here. Krishnamurthy's doing a kick-ass job here. You set the snare, and you got to be patient before you pull it. This is why Democrats, by the way, have so many prosecutors that end up getting elected, because in telling the truth and prosecuting the shit that Republicans lie about, it's almost like that requires a prosecutor's mentality. It's one of the reasons why people felt good about Harris as a candidate ultimately. But there's a ton of these. Yeah.
Public
Goldman's another great example.
To the world. Now, Lieutenant General Cruz, as Ranking Member Himes said, it says, time now, weather is favorable, just confirmed with CENTCOM, we are a go for mission launch. Then it says at 12:15 Eastern, F-18's launch, first strike package. F-18s are military systems, correct? Weapon systems.
They are.
Okay. 13:45, trigger.
This is how you do it. Don't ask him about the whole thing. Break it down.
F-18 first strike window starts. Target terrorist is at his known location, so should be on time. Also, strike drones launch, MQ-9s. MQ-9s is a weapon system, correct?
They are.
Okay. I think applying the executive order as well as the DOD manual to this fact pattern, we clearly have weapon systems that have been identified. That is classified information. Now, the reason why it's important that this information not be disclosed is that we don't want the adversaries to know what's about to happen, right, sir?
Well, I would draw a small distinction there. You referenced and asked if that platform, those two platforms are weapon systems. They are, but those terms are used all across the globe in a lot of contexts. So it's really about how they're used in the context of this particular document.
Right. You're splitting hairs, asshole. Don't try, because this is in the direct context that these are going to be used at this time in the future.
I just want to clarify that the use of those.
I understand.
Yeah, you can say airplane. You're allowed to say airplane sometimes. People say F-18s, and maybe like James does articles on drones, dumbass. Shame on you.
In this situation, those are
Context is the word you're looking for.
operational details.
They are operational details.
Shut up. Stop talking. That's all we need.
But again, as you quoted the DoD instruction, it's about operations. So as you further go down into what are the operational details, I think as we had a discussion yesterday, the important aspect, I think all of us are very familiar.
This is classified information. This is classified information. It's a weapon system, as well as sequence of strikes, as well as details about the operations. And so I think that just piggybacking off of what some other members have said.
Real quick, the only thing I would do differently with what Krishnamurti is doing here, and there's no reason why another Democrat can't do this with anybody when they're called back, especially. Bring up this text. Let me, I'll show you the actual piece of this. Bring up these texts that he's showing. I'm going to bring in, this, I'll just use this. This guy right here. Put this up on a big fucking board like he has it. And then go, I need to ask you a series of yes or no questions. F-18s, Tomahawks, whatever, the MQ-9s, that's up here. Sorry, it's in this other part of the MQ-9s right here. F-18s are airplanes, MQ-9s are drones, Tomahawks are missiles, correct? Those are weapon systems we use to execute, to wipe out the enemy. These are weapon systems. Yes or no? Yes. Okay, great. Now, this right here. Hold on one second. Target terrorist. Where is it? Here we go. The launch, second straight package, 1410, 1415, 1536, and 1215 ET, as Eastern Time, and 1345 are times, are they not? These are the whens. In a plan, this is the missiles would be the what, the time is the when, and then the targets would be the where. Correct? This is when they're coming. This is where we know their window of distance, which would give you the where. And then the follow-up on where it was hit, so you know what they were ultimately talking. So you could backdraft how long the travel time. You could tell where the ship is from what it hit in that time window. So this is the what? The what, where, and when. Or I guess this would be the where. This is the where. What is the bombs? When is the time? Okay. How do you create a plan? You have a stated goal, which would be to wipe out a terrorist. Would that be a goal of the military? Yes or no? Yes. Or to eliminate a target or a missile system? Yes. Okay. The where and the when would be as far as like targeting and the range of what we're doing, how close we have to get, who has to be able to carry it out, right? So the what, where, and the when, and the overall goal gives you a plan. The plan is a series of strategic actions that will lead to the goal being, I guess, successfully executed. So just fucking stop. Just get the what, where, and the when on record. And then ask Tulsi Gabbard, if I know what I'm using, when I'm using it, and where I'm using it for a specific goal, what would you call that? Would that be called a plan? If it's before the thing happens. If it's, are we engaged in a war on terror? Is the United States at war with Islamic fundamentalists? Do you think they are a threat to our national security and need to be dealt with as such? Do you see a difference between battle plan and war plan? Are you going to split hairs about battle plan or war plan? Stop it.
Using the DOD's manual as well as the executive order in operation today with the Trump administration, this text message is clearly classified information. Secretary Hegseth has disclosed military plans as well as classified information. He needs to resign immediately. He needs to resign immediately, and a full investigation needs to be undertaken with regard to whether other similar signal chats are occurring in this administration. I'd like to turn my attention to another topic.
Yeah, that's the other big one. Thank you just for laying that out there. Krishnamurti, that's it. We need an investigation to see if there are other signal chats where they're fucking around equally to this. And as they have oversight as a co-equal branch of government, they have every right to ask for it.
Director Patel, according to the DOJ, in 2022, the FBI led Joint Terrorism Task Force, JTTF, in my hometown of Chicago, valiantly led efforts to prevent a plot to attack Naval Station Great Lakes in Illinois. You don't dispute that, do you, sir?
I'm not familiar with it, but I don't dispute what you're telling me.
Thank you. A memo obtained by ABC 7 News of Chicago said that this task force will now be, quote, actively supporting, close quote, the Department of Homeland Security and its immigration enforcement. You don't dispute that either, do you?
I'm just not familiar with it, sir.
Okay. Sir, I just have to say, the DOJ has now tasked JTTFs to shift some resources to immigration enforcement efforts. And I don't say this lightly, if there's a terrorist attack anywhere in the country, including in Chicago, and it was because the JTTFs in part shifted resources, they'll be held to pay. Thank you, sir.
There is, you'll notice in the House and the Senate, either because of the length of their terms or the fact that there's only 2 per state or what have you, and that their time, while limited, they do get, broader discretion in talking about things and bringing committee hearings, and there's a little bit more comity than normal than there is in the House, that you'll see that they stay on topic more, that the Senate committee, the committee hearing on the House Intel group, or on the Intel group rather, they just stay on the fucking signal issue. They hold to it and they want to get to the bottom of it. The House, because of the districts they're in and all the priorities that the more localized the politics become, you'll see that they split their time over multiple statements. We'll jump into, yeah, here you go. This is, let's see if I can bring this back here. Say, we switch over. There you go. This is Crow. Hold on.
Advisory, right? What we've done is we put out.
Time's expired. Mr. Crow.
Thank you, Chairman. General Hawk, the NSA recently warned its employees not to use the Signal app. Is that correct?
By the way, this dude is like the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff of Obfuscation and Bullshit. This guy's the ability. This guy plays so cannot give a direct answer. He cannot. Listen to me trying to find a nice way to say it. He wishy-washes fucking everything. And it's even weirder that he's in uniform and that he's a member of the military, because you would think he would be the one. The guys on the other side are like, nope. Yep. I would make one distinction here because that matters. Details matter, if you watch Reacher. But in this guy won't give the yes or the no with a, subsection D, hashtag this. He just goes, well, in a lot of places, there's a thing. I don't know if I mean, variability is whatever. Like every answer.
Congressman,
It's the
is
weave.
we put out cybersecurity advisories on a whole host of systems.
On the Signal app that was included in that advisory, right?
What we've done is we've put out an advisory on how to use the Signal app and other encrypted applications, because we do encourage our employees and their families to use encrypted.
Because there's risk to that app.
There are.
Okay. General
Just say yes.
Cruz, DOD also issued a warning about vulnerabilities to the Signal app recently, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Director Gabbard, you were on the Signal text chain in question, correct?
Yes.
As was Mr. Whit.
But I'm so lonely and so sad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't. I'm standing here in the middle of nowhere, waiting for the sun to shine, and it's never going to shine again.
Off the administration's lead negotiator with the Russians, correct?
Yes.
And at the time, Mr. Witkoff was actually in Russia during this chat discussion, was he not?
I was not aware of that.
Okay. Weasel in red is dancing with words again. Weasel in red. Hey, asshole. We saw what you did there. What you're saying is I wasn't aware of that, so that you could extrapolate to, oh, legally what I said was I wasn't aware of that at the time I was on the chain because I didn't know where he was when we were talking about this shit openly. I didn't give a fuck. I didn't care to know.
Was he on his personal phone at the time?
I don't know.
Let's.
You are the director. Hold on. You are, what do I need? Should I try to do? You are the director of national intelligence. I have to say, it should be, we need to pass a law that the DNI can never say, I don't know.
Understanding that he was indeed in Russia. Director Gabbard, you were also traveling during this discussion, correct?
Yes.
And where were you?
But in all fairness, she was in Hawaii at a cult gathering where she was listening to her guru use the F word for gay people over and over and over.
I was traveling through the Asia Pacific region. I don't recall.
Oh, we don't have any. I mean, they don't have any listening devices over near, what's that country called? China. It's not very big either.
Which country I was in at that time.
You don't remember the country?
Really? You didn't look it up? You don't have your schedule in front of you? You didn't think this might come up?
I'd have to go back and look at the schedule.
Yeah, or maybe, I don't know, is your phone with you? Do you have your phone in front of you? Open it up if you're allowed.
Director Gabbard, I want to direct your attention again to the text chain. Where it says, just confirmed with CENTCOM, we are a go for mission launch. Does that indicate to you that there is about to be a military operation?
Yes, that this, whatever they're talking about, whoever it is, I can't imagine, that what they're talking about is happening in, I don't know, the future. It hasn't happened already, hence the use of future tense in the description of the motherfucker. All right.
Yes.
Director Gabbard, earlier in this hearing, we heard about the DOD's classification standards. I want to now turn my attention to your classification standards. You're the Director of National Intelligence. The Office
So sad.
Director of National Intelligence classification guide says, quote, information providing indication or advance warning that the U.S. or its allies are preparing for an attack, end quote, is to be classified as top secret. Are you familiar with that?
Yes.
Yeah, since yesterday.
Director Gabbard, have the Houthis indicated an ability to shoot down American aircraft?
Yes.
They have in fact done so, haven't they?
Yes.
Including MQ-9 Reapers, haven't they?
That's correct.
And that was one of the systems used in the attack recently that's the subject of this discussion, Is it not?
Correct.
General Cruz, are you familiar with this system?
I'm not wearing my glasses at the moment, but
Well, I'll help you out. This is an SA-3 anti-aircraft system.
correct.
Are you familiar with...
What do we have for him, Johnny? Hold on. I feel like I need a ding, ding, ding. Where am I going to get that? How about, I need to get... None of my sound effects are useful at all. You're a winner. All right.
This next system,
I am.
what is it?
Wait, you're taking your glasses off now? I don't trust this guy. He's probably Antifa.
I'm going to have to ask you.
It's an SA-6.
I'm going to guess that
This is also an advanced anti-aircraft system, is it not?
It is. It was used widely in the Balkans in the 90s. Correct.
And the Houthis also have this system, don't they?
They certainly do.
And they've employed it against our aircraft, have they not?
They have attempted to. Correct.
Yeah, but in all fairness, when they tried to do it before, they didn't get a fucking heads up from the SecDef when the planes were going to be overhead. Do you see what we're laying down? I'm sorry, we're talking. I can't discuss this unless we're on an airline because people can hear. Well, you know what? I'll just draw it in the sand with my dick.
I spent my life in service to this country. I deployed 3 times to combat in service to this nation. I learned in that time in service that responsibility is core to leadership. You accept responsibility when things go wrong. You admit mistakes. You set the standard from the very top. It is completely outrageous to me.
Outrageous.
Completely outrageous to me that administration officials come before us today with impunity. No acceptance of responsibility. Excuse after excuse after excuse. While we send our men and women downrange to do incredibly difficult, incredibly dangerous things on our behalf.
By the way, Crow nailing it. Fucking show the things the Houthis have to shoot our airplanes out of the fucking sky. Because there's a lot of people who believe that the Houthis just, they're like Hamas. They just pull up water pipes from, UN water systems and turn them into sugar bombs. These are very sophisticated systems. They've been at war with the Yemeni government, which is backed by the Saudis, who have money and arms. So they are obviously, if they've been able to go toe to toe with that, they are well armed as well.
And yet, nobody is willing to come to us and say this was wrong. This was a breach of security, and we won't do it again. It is outrageous, and it is a leadership failure, and that's why Secretary Hegseth, who undoubtedly transmitted classified, sensitive operational information via this chain, must resign immediately. There can be no fixes. There can be no corrections until there is accountability, and I'm calling on the administration to move forward with accountability. I yield back.
Gentlemen.
Yeah, the Democrats don't let go of this. Keep at it, because I got news for you. More shit's going to come out. There are going to be other fuck-ups like this, and it might cost lives. You hang on to this not just because it's a political win, but because lives will be lost if this asshole is still allowed to be in charge of to be SecDef. People are going to die unnecessarily because of Pete Hegseth and because of Tulsi Gabbard and because of John Ratcliffe. And they're going to claim that the people underneath them work very hard to protect this country and save this country, and they give their lives in support of this country and their country people. And I stand behind them. Okay, yeah, they do. They're having to work harder and put their lives in more danger because you guys are a bunch of fuck-ups. Our soldiers already put their lives on the line. Already. Offer their lives and their souls to their fellow countrymen, and you're making it more likely that they will die on the job, not less.